Alright, welcome back to another Dead by Daylight video, guys. It's not a Chucky video today. Hooray! It's almost like I'm starting to run out of things to talk about with one killer. So I wanted to talk about one of the things that Behavior said they're going to be changing in January, I believe. I need to double check that, but soonish. They said they're going to be implementing a fix for 3 gens. Now, I've watched Coconut's video talking to the Singularity, who 3 gens a lot. I personally 3 gens sometimes. It happens. I don't try to force it, but it kind of just happens, which is going to be brought into point by the end of this. And you know, I've been on Twitter like I always am because I hate myself. And you know, I've heard a lot of discourse about 3 genning in general. I think the question becomes, does Behavior need to do anything about it? Have they done enough already? Is the game inherently bad for having 3 gens? I mean, because as the guy in Coconut's video said, if they make 3genning impossible, then killers are just going to 4gen, right? They're just going to find 4 close gens, which isn't unheard of on a lot of maps. But that's the other thing. Is it more just a map problem than anything else? Is it an RNG problem? My solution has always been just make it so there's one more generator to do. So you can't 3gen, there's 4 gens. Because if the survivors mess up so much that 4 gens are right next to each other, I don't care if the killer's right there. You can find ways to get around it. Like, that's their fault at the end of the day. And that's one of the biggest arguments I've heard against a solution to 3genning is, what if the survivors just 3gen themselves? What if the killer had nothing to do with it? And I think it's going to be a hard thing to try to fix. I think ultimately the biggest way they could fix it is maybe if a certain amount of time passes, once there's only one generator left, one of the gens gets blocked and another one pops up farther away, the farthest one possible. That would be what I think is going to happen, something along those lines. But I don't know if that would be too much for the game, especially for new players. It would be extremely confusing. At the same time, though, it would be much less frustrating than a 3gen. And don't get me wrong, even as a killer player, I understand the frustration with 3gens. I've done 3genning in the past. And I don't mean like it just happened. I have done outright 3genning back when Knight was really good with it, with Call of Brian Eruption. Of course I did it, because everyone did. That was just what you did at the time. I think Behavior has tried many ways to circumvent it, and as many have stated, the fact that they added in the one perk from Vittorio that is escaping me as far as the name goes, that lets you store gen power, I think was a cool idea, executed poorly. I think honestly it could use a buff where it doesn't go away until you're downed and not injured. Because what a lot of killers will do with 3gens is they will injure you, let you run off unless you're like super close and just down you. So you could do the gen a little bit, get some of that progress, and then just get the hit and run off and heal, and then eventually you could stack that, use it all instantly on one gen, and then there you go. Another thing, and this is just more so on the survivor side, I will say, I'm not going to sit here and say like 3 gens are super easy to avoid and super easy to actually circumvent. What I am going to say is just give some suggestions for how to not necessarily avoid it, but to help with it. Deja Vu is a great perk that I think not enough people use. Yeah, it doesn't help you in chase, but it lets you spot 3 gens at the beginning of the match, so you know which gens to do, as well as the gens that are on the 3 gen, you get a 5% increase bonus. Combine that with a lot of other gen perks, and you can run through the gen faster than you think. On top of that, and this is the biggest thing I'm going to say for survivors, and something I feel like more survivor players need to do with toolboxes. I'm going to tell y'all now, don't use your toolbox at the beginning of the match. This is coming from a killer player. Trust me. I get it. You want to get through those gens quick in case the game goes bad. But if the game goes bad and there's only one generator left, trust me, you're going to love that B&P right there. It's insane how fast you can do a generator at the end of the match if you save your toolbox. Well, what if they have Franklins? If they have Franklins, like, your toolbox wasn't going to get much use anyways. But if you notice they have Franklins, yeah, just use it at the beginning of the match. But for the most part, I'm telling you guys, just save your toolbox for the end of the match. I say this about pallets. This is a bit of a tangent, but this is about pallets too. Don't drop any pallets until you're A, injured, or more importantly, when you're on death hook. Trust me, a lot of killer players like me are actually hoping you drop pallets because then I get to break them and make a dead zone. And that's more important to me than anything else in the world. It's crazy. If you guys wait to save pallets, a lot of killers will not even push through them. A lot of them will respect them to a certain point. I mean, obviously, eventually they're going to go for the hits. They're not gonna just keep respecting. At least most killers won't. But at the start of the match, they're trying to like figure you out. So they will go for the respect to see what happens. So yeah, just save your resources till the end of the match. I think that would help more. But yeah, back to the 3-genning problem. Like, I think the other solution would be maybe let survivors, like... I've heard the idea of maybe letting them move generators. I think that would be a little insane. I don't think it would fix the problem unless it's super fast. But honestly, like, I don't know what the other solution is, other than maybe making another generator that's farther away pop up after a certain amount of time. But then it comes into play, okay, well, how much time do we wait? Is 20 minutes too long, too short? Is 10 minutes too long, too short? 15? Is it when the 3-gen starts, or how long the match goes fully? Obviously, on certain maps, this is going to hurt more killers than others. I mean, like, it's really not going to do much on, like, a map like Midwich. It's not going to do much on a map like The Game. It's not going to do... But on a map like Garden of Joy or Mother's Dwelling, which I know has gotten the size differential, but, like, it's still not going to help as much as I think people think it will. I would love to hear other ideas on how to fix it. I really would. Or if you even think it needs to be fixed. Personally, right now, I think the regenning is in an okay spot. Skull Merchant can still do it, obviously, but not like she could. I think reworking her was enough. Knight's another issue, but I think that's just how Knight's going to be. I love playing Knight. I do, but I don't play him in the... I set my guard down on a gen or at a loop kind of way. I set him more... I have my guard chase somebody while I'm chasing somebody else to distract two people kind of way. But, I don't know. I'm really curious. There's a lot of changes that they said they're doing, and the 3-gem was probably one that caught my eye more than anything. Much like the Save the Best for Last change. I'm really scared and excited for the change for that. I hope they do something with the obsession with that. But I'm going to stop getting on a tangent and just say, I hope Behavior tests this before they put it in. And I also hope it doesn't become like the Unbreakable patch they did, where they test it, do it, and then we never hear about it or see it again. But yeah, time will tell. Like I said, tell me what you guys think and how y'all would like to see this change. In any case, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I know I didn't have a video yesterday. Like and sub and all that stuff, because I'm supposed to say that like a good YouTuber. And don't forget to follow me on Twitch. That's down below as well. I do stream 3 days a week. We are going to start streaming on YouTube. I did it today, actually, as a test run, but we'll see how that goes. So y'all who don't hang out on Twitch can see me a little bit more often. In any case, I'll catch you on the next one, and bye!